Hi everyone, today I've been playing around with deconstructing envelopes and adding paper to them and a envelope insert. Hi, if you don't know me, my name is Tanya from Tanya Creative Junkie and I like things old craft. So as you can see, I am using a heat gun to deconstruct envelopes. I just have to add caution that the heat gun is very hot, and some envelopes worked and others didn't. I found along the way that it was actually better to go slow and heat the area up for a bit first. As you can see, some envelopes came away well and other envelopes didn't, but that's okay because we are going to cover them up and you won't see that. So after doing quite a few envelopes, I actually use one of them now as a template. So what we're going to do is choose some paper and we're going to add a envelope insert, and then I had the idea of adding paper to the back of the envelope just to give it make it look something different. These envelopes you could post in the mail, or you could just add as a gift. So I'm labeling the envelope for sides, the top and the bottom, and when we go to cut them out, we will actually also use the insert and the top for the template for the insert of the envelope. So now I'm just tracing onto my chosen paper. Thinking about what I want the back of the envelope to look like and trying to vary the pictures. So just tracing around, and then I will go in and cut them out. So for the insert of the envelope, I'm using the template of the top and of the square. I believe this envelope is about 4.5 inches by 4.5 inches. So just trying to see which picture or what cutout I would like best for the insert, then tracing it and cutting it out. You don't need to cut the full bottom or the whole square because you actually want to be able to put it onto the envelope, and so it's better if you just cut it halfway because the bottom won't be seen. So once I have them all cut out, I'm just having a look to see whether the cutouts will fit the envelope, and just trimming as necessary. As you can see, I've only cut the insert for the envelope. I haven't made it the full size of the envelope, as you won't see it. So even though I did have a template, I am still just trimming and making sure that it fits. So I've decided that I'm just going to distress the edges a bit, just to get away or remove the white of the edge of the papers. I think this makes it look nicer and gives it that vintage feel. I also just distress the envelope just to give it that extra distress look. I came up with this idea for the envelopes because I wanted to send a couple to some very special people in my life, and I wanted to make it feel special for them, and that I had put in time to show them how much I care. So I've created quite a few of these, and I think I will continue to use them with gifts. So what I'm using to stick them down is a glue stick. Glue stick gives you that extra bit of time to be able to move the piece of paper around to make it fit, and it doesn't seem to buckle the paper. I feel that if you used a runny, like a glue, that when it dried, it would actually buckle the paper. So just lining it up. On this envelope there is the sticky bits on the top, so I'm just making sure that that insert is below that, and just folding it at the crease line before it dries. So just to remember that the insert goes inside the envelope, and then we will be adding the other pieces of paper to the good side of the envelope. So turning the envelope over, and we're putting the other pieces of paper on the opposite side to the insert. I did actually, when I was first having a go, put the paper on the inside. It still looked really good, and I just added some stamps to the outside. So if you do make a mistake, you can still use the envelope. It still looks really, really nice. I'm really into the vintage flowers at the moment, so I chose a paper that had writing and the flowers, but you could choose any paper that you like, stripes, animals. Think about who you're going to give the envelope and card to. If you wanted to add a card, I just added a note into this envelope. So just gluing them on. Moving them around if I need to make them fit. If you do need to trim them, it is better to trim before they're stuck down, and then you can just re-distress the edges if you need to. So once we've added all the pieces of paper to the front of the envelope, next we're going to glue the envelope back together, and as you can see it looks really pretty. So what we're going to do is fold the sides in, and we're just going to glue the bottom of the envelope to the sides. When you have deconstructed the envelope, you can see that the glue line doesn't go all the way to the top, so just gluing in the same spot as what it was before. I'm using a white craft glue because I feel that it dries stronger and gives that bit of strength. Next, I'm thinking about what else I could add to the envelope, so I decide that I'm going to add a ribbon. I think this will just add that extra bit, and as this envelope is not going through the mail, it doesn't matter if I add that ribbon and a bow. So I'm just wanting to position the ribbon below the close of the envelope, so just measuring and then again using that white craft glue, and I think it looks really nice and suits the envelope. Once the bow has dried, decided that I'm going to use a stamp on the front of the envelope. I am using like a vintage brown colour. I will list that in the description, the colour that I've used, and I've just chosen a flower stamp. I think that just adds something to the front. So as you can see, this is a really pretty envelope idea that you can use for lots and lots of different ideas and papers to create the envelopes that you want. So just another idea. This is another envelope that I have done, and to give to someone that's very special to me. So I'm just cutting out Affrimations, and what I'm going to do is just distress the edges, and I'm going to stick the Affrimations on the front of the envelope. And when I sent this, I sent it with a present in a package and added a lovely note inside. So just another idea of what you can do with the envelopes. I hope you've enjoyed my video. Please leave a comment and remember to like and subscribe. And I hope you have a lovely day, and thank you again for watching. Bye.